and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlotte if you're new, and if you're not, thank you so much for coming back. So it is coming towards the end of March. This year is just going really quick but slow at the same time, if that makes sense. So we're doing another favourites video. This is my March 2021 favourites. So in all of these favourites videos, as you should know if you watched them and watched my previous, I break them down into different categories. So we've got random favourites, products, self-care and food and drink. And I'm going to start off with products this time. And the first product that I have been loving is this hair mask, and this is the Shea Butter Deep Treatment Mask. And this, first of all, smells incredible. It just smells... It's a mixture of like almost like an aftershave, like a really good smelling man, also sort of like a fragrance you'd actually wear. So I love lathering my hair in this maybe once a month, giving my hair a deep condition, a deep treatment, and just letting it soak all in, do its thing, and then rinse it out. My hair always smells amazing for the few days after. So that is my first favourite, is this mask. I'm really trying to grow my hair at the minute. I loved it when I had it all chopped off and went back brunette, but I'm really trying to grow it out and have the long hair again because I just miss it. So that's the first product favourite. Next is this Benefit Give Me Brow, and I know that this has been out for ages and it's not a new product. It's new to me, so I invested in some new eyebrow products quite a few videos ago now, and I got all three of the Benefit brow products. So I've got the Gimme Brow, the Goof Proof, and the Precisely My Brow Pencil. And actually this one, the Gimme Brow, even though it's a setting, like an eyebrow setter, I have just loved this for convenience. I've recently gone back to work, not full time, and barely part-time, but still I've done a few shifts at work, and when you're thinking, okay, I've got to get up and I've got to get myself ready, just combing this through your brows is enough for me. Like, I have got it on now, but I've also penciled it in a little bit, but just having this, because it is coloured and it's a comb that brushed through my eyebrows, is enough for me, and my eyebrows are filled in enough that I can just couple of strokes through and they're done. So I just love the convenience of that, and mine is shade 4 if you was wondering. My next product favourite is this Nivea lip balm, which I got in my Nivea advent calendar obviously back in December, and this is the exfoliating one, so it is looking a little grim at the minute. That is because you kind of put this on, like I like to do this at the start of my makeup, so even just as I'm putting my moisturisers on, put this on around the lips and it really exfoliates all the dead skin. Then I'll do my makeup, kind of rub that off, and then I can put my lipstick on, and it's just like the perfect base. I always love to put lip balm on before I do my makeup anyway, but when they're feeling quite chapped and the weather's changing from quite cold to getting a bit warmer now, like maybe that can change how chapped your lips are, so I just love having that exfoliating lip balm to put on as I'm doing my makeup. And then the last product favourite is something that I've rediscovered, and that is the Supercat Soap and Glory felt tip eyeliner. So this is what the tip looks like. And again, I rediscovered this back from my Valentine's Day video where I copied Rachel Leary's makeup look. And because she used a felt tip liner, I was like, oh, I know I have one somewhere. And then I rediscovered this, and just the ease of having the felt tip line as opposed to like actually like with the wand is just so much quicker and easier for me. That like my eyeliner now takes like no time. It's so quick, so easy, and I've just loved rediscovering an old favourite that I used to use way back when. Then I'm going to move on to food and drink. Now this is arguably the best round of favourites because it's what I get most excited for, and to be honest, because I do 4 favourites in each category, it's the one that I fill up the quickest, because I pretty much have new favourites every month that I just get obsessed with, so it's the easiest to do. So my first favourite is the Lidl's little tin of gin and tonic, and the one in particular, I'll put a picture here, is the rhubarb and ginger gin. And I just love it. Like, there is something that really reminds me of like a rhubarb and custard sweet, but in the best possible way. Like if you like gin and you like the rhubarb taste, I just love it. So when I go to the supermarket like once a week, I get 2 tins of that and I save them, have them on a Saturday night, have my 2 gins, and it's just like every time I have it and I take my first sip, it is like, oh, because it just smells and tastes amazing. So that's my first food and drink favourite. Then this month I have been getting out a little bit more. The weather's starting to change, and that has meant that I've gone back to going into Costa's and Cafe Nero's, and I've been having proper coffee again. And there is just nothing that compares, no filtered coffee for me compares to the taste of a proper coffee, and it has to be in my favourites, because I think since I bit the bullet in my last come drive with me when I got a proper coffee, since then it's like every week I'm like, I need to go to some Costa or a Starbucks or Cafe Nero and get a proper coffee once a week, because I've now ruined it for myself, because the coffees at home just do not taste the same. And I've just been loving trying loads of different things. So in my come drive with me, I did the toffee nut spiced latte. Even though it isn't the best tasting coffee, I think the spice element put me off. Just the taste of the coffee like on its own was just amazing. And since then I've had an oat milk latte, I've had a cappuccino. Like, just getting back into proper coffee is such a treat. So how could I not include it in my March favourites? Then another favourite in March is there's been quite a few birthdays. So I've had my boyfriend's birthday, which you should have seen in a vlog, and his dad. So I made a lemon cake, and lemon desserts have to be a favourite in this month, because I've had, like I said, I've had that lemon cake, and then it was another birthday in March, Lewis's granddad, and we decided to go and get a cheesecake, and just like a baked lemon cheesecake. Baked is important to note because that is my preference. I am a cheesecake snob. I only like them baked, just saying. So we had a lemon cheesecake, and I've always loved lemon desserts, like lemon or chocolate desserts, like my fave. But I've just been reintroduced, and we have like a really good lemon taste. You're like, oh my god, that's amazing. I've really got into lemon desserts this month, which is not great for my waistline, but I know I'll talk about it. I'll insert a picture here of the leftovers of the lemon cheesecake that we had, and it just was so good. Like, lemon curd on top was amazing. Like, honestly, so good. I've really been enjoying lemon desserts. And then the last food and drink favourite for March is baked oats. I know I'm incredibly late to the trend. Like, baked oats were a thing a couple of months back, but I thought, like always, I let trends come and go, and then I'll kind of try them when everybody else is over them. So I was getting a bit bored of having porridge for breakfast, because I am a creature of habit. I will have the same breakfast day after day after day for weeks / probably years, and then I'll get a bit bored and want to try something new. So I had got a little bit bored of having porridge every morning. I thought I just fancy something else, and I'm struggling to have something that isn't bread, because I usually would have bread at lunch. And then I seen everyone doing these baked oats, and I thought, well, it's basically the same ingredients as porridge, but just in a different form. So I may as well try it. Like, what is there not to like? And it is so good. Like, I understand the hype now. And I've tried Lydia she's on YouTube, Lydia Bayless Zulu, her like kind of baked oats, banana loaf style baked oats, her recipe on her story highlights. And what I do different is I will add a tablespoon of melted Biscoff to the top of it, just drizzle it over the top, or Nutella, and it genuinely tastes like a cake or like a banana loaf. It really just tastes like a dessert, like you're having cake for breakfast. And as we all know, 16-year-old me is saying, like, yes, we're finally having cake for breakfast again. So baked oats is definitely something that I've been enjoying in March. And then on to my random favourites. Now, I haven't gone to go and grab this because I thought you all know what this looks like. And this is why I have my random category, because I just think it's funny to include things that I'm enjoying, but it's just like, well, it's a bit random to say that you're enjoying it. But my first one is mouthwash. And mouthwash has been one of my favourites in March because, like I said, I've been gradually going back to work, and wearing a mask all day, or even if it's just for a couple of hours, I am the one that's smelling my own breath all the time. And then you get to think like, oh my god, my breath is a bit especially if I'm doing a breakfast shift and I've just woke up, just brushed my teeth, put my mask on, and I'm like, oh God. And when you have that first coffee as well, it's just grim. So I've really been enjoying just any kind of mouthwash, using that in the morning. And I like the one that does have alcohol in, because I know it doesn't necessarily correlate that it's doing something, but if it's starting to burn in my mouth, which is not doesn't sound great, but then I feel like it's actually doing something and it feels clean afterwards. So I've got back into using mouthwash again, which random, but that's why I had this category every month. And then another random favourite has been my bike. And me and Lewis bought matching his and hers bikes maybe a month ago, but with the weather just being a bit crap, we just hadn't had a chance to go on out in it much. Until the past couple of weeks, I've been whizzing around on that bike like nobody's business. I'll pop up my Strava pictures on here of routes that I've done and times, but over the past couple of weeks, I've been on it like nobody's business, like it's going out of fashion. And because the weather's getting so nice, like everybody's out on their bikes at the minute. And not only am I doing exercise, but I'm genuinely really enjoying going out and meeting friends and going on bike rides and stopping in the park and having a nice solly. That's what I did yesterday. And it's just been great to have something that's you're getting out, but you're doing something different, and it's a form of exercise. So I've really been enjoying having my bike and owning a bike for the first time, like 10 years again, and definitely will be getting more use out of that in April when we go away. So wouldn't be surprised if I include it in my April favourites, but it's definitely got to be a favourite for March. Then another random favourite is this water bottle. Now I can't tell you where I got this from. This has just appeared in the house and nobody really knows whose water bottle it is, so I just claimed it as mine. And this is one of those water bottles that has the times, so you've got morning and afternoon and it tells you like when to refill. I don't really go off the times, but I've always been a fan of having a water bottle, and I noticed that when I do have a water bottle, I drink way more water than if I was just to have a glass of water, because it's just constantly just sipping and sipping, fill it up and you just keep sipping. And yeah, I'm just going through these bottles so much at the minute, which is obviously great to be drinking more water, but it's just so handy to have this. And like when I've been going on my bike rides, I've just been throwing this in my rucksack, which my rucksack's probably actually a favourite in this month as well. But throwing this in my rucksack and then just going on a bike ride, having a little stop, having a drink, carry on going. And then likewise, as I've been going into work, I just fill one of these up, take it with me. It means I'm not really using like work's glasses as well. Like I know that people might find that a bit strange, or people, you know, am I being a bit too over the top, not wanting to use glasses at work. But I just think at the minute I just want to use my own stuff, and I'm quite happy using this and taking it with me wherever I go. In the winter, I would have said my coffee travel cup, which I still use now, was my fave. But as the warmer months are coming, I'm kind of replacing the travel coffee cup for my water bottle. So I'm having water more, which obviously you need more water than caffeine in your body. But I have to include this. Because I just love that it also has this feature, so you can hook it onto anything. And you've also got a lock, so if you lock that up, it's not going to come undone and spill in your bag. So that's just a little handy little trick for this water bottle. Again, I'd love to link it and tell you where I got it from, but it's randomly appeared in the house and I have no clue where it come from, but it's now mine. And then my last random favourite is police and crime investigation dramas. So examples of 2 police crime dramas I've really been loving at the minute is Marcella. Love Marcella. It is on Netflix series. I think a couple of seasons are on Netflix, and then I finished that, and then it was like gold dust that I found out that there was an extra season on ITV Hub, and I was like, oh my god, I thought I finished it, and there's season 3 I think it was on ITV Hub, and I just binge watched that. I just love, and I've always loved, like police and crime investigation dramas, and especially UK ones. So been loving Marcella. And the second one that I've been loving is Unforgotten on Netflix, and the same thing happened, which is like the best at the minute. It's like the smallest things that are good news feel like really amazing news. So I finished all of the seasons of Unforgotten on Netflix. Again, same thing happened. I don't know if it was like BBC iPlayer or something. And then I went on that and seen that there was like a whole season on there that's up to date, that's on there. I could just binge watch all of that. So if you love police and crime investigation dramas, I really recommend Marcella for one, and then also Unforgotten as another one. So those have been my favourites that I've been watching and binge watching at the minute. And then finally, my self-care favourites. I think what's been a common theme in all of these is going for walks. I'm still finding it really useful, and it really helps me to go out and get fresh air at the minute, especially when the weather's nicer. To get out and have the sun on your skin, the vitamin D, and just getting the fresh air, and just to have that time out is really important. And I've been loving getting out and going on walks around the village. In March, and I can see me just continuing to be a favourite throughout the next few months of summer, because it's going to be the main thing that I think I'm going to be doing. Then another self-care favourite, which I didn't necessarily think it was a form of self-care, is just getting out and going on a drive. And as I did in my Come Drive With Me, I went to B&M and the range and having a mooch around there on my own and getting a coffee. And for me, that is a massive form of self-care, is just to have me time, to get out, go in the car, have a mooch around. And I love those sorts of stores, and just do something for me, take time out and going on a drive. And that has been a really big favourite for me in March, is just to get out in the car on my own and have a mooch around, have me time. So I've loved doing that. And I've put for my third self-care favourite is just having me time, which again is sort of the same as going out for drives, but really setting aside a time for me. And whether that's just coming up to my room and perhaps watching shows that I love like Marcella, or meditating, or watching YouTube, or making videos, or just setting aside time for me, has been a big form of self-care for me at the minute, and something that I am trying to do more and hoping to do more for the rest of March and also going into April. And then my final self-care favourite for March has been something actually that my counsellor recommended for me to do, which, if I think a lot of people do this, I don't think it's just me, but I think a lot of people struggle to put themselves first and to dedicate time for them to do self-care. And she said, I really want you to do a self-care menu. And what she described that being is like, for your starter, that would be things that you can do that don't take as long. So for me, that would be stuff like putting a face mask on, lighting some candles and meditating. And then your main course is something that takes a little bit longer. So is that going for a longer drive, shellacking my nails, going for a walk with friends? Your main course is something that takes a little bit longer, but you can do a little more often than what you do for a dessert. And your dessert self-care is something that is really indulgent, something that you rarely get a chance to do. So for me, that was actually turning my phone off for a whole day. I've still not been able to do that yet, but having something like a self-care menu where you're actually thinking about things that you enjoy doing that are good for you, and putting that down into a form of notes or a menu, and thinking, okay, I'm feeling a bit stressed, what can I do, what do I have time to do? Let me look at my starters. I've got a little bit more time, let me look at my mains. Or I'm having a really tough time, I need something that's really indulgent, that will really pick me up, let me look at my desserts. And those can be things that go in for spa days, which we can't really do. But like I said, for me, it's even as simple as just turning your phone off, cutting out the outside world, and doing something that you really enjoy, and just having that indulgent time to yourself. So it's been actually really interesting creating my own self-care menu and having a look at that, and trying to do things when I feel myself starting to build up and feel like I need to take some time for me. So yeah, I've really enjoyed actually making that, and that was a recommendation from my counsellor. And that concludes my self-care part of this favourites, and indeed this favourites video. So I hope you've all enjoyed this. I love doing these videos every month and sitting down and thinking about what I've been enjoying, what products I've been loving, food and drink, random favourites, and also self-care I think is important to include in there every month as well. So if you have liked this video, please give it a like, leave me a comment, follow me on Instagram, and I shall catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.